Bless you, Martin. Thanks for coming. Daniela, a data talk is an opportunity for us to look at some data as scientists and just have a conversation about it. So what my data for you today is all about birds. I'm gonna read you the top part of the data chart when we look at it, and I wanna hear with a nice quiet hand what you notice and what you wonder about our data. So let me come back here. Here is our data, and the title of the graph is Wingspans of Birds. And on the bottom it says raven, bald eagle, trumpeter swan, California condor, and wandering albatross. With a nice quiet hand, if you notice something about this chart or you wonder something about this chart. I see 4 immediately nice quiet hands, so those are the friends I'm going to call on first. If you have something else that you want to share or they make you think of something, you can also raise a nice quiet hand. Owen, kick us off. You notice that this data is in an order from smallest to biggest. Great noticing. Silas, what'd you notice or wonder?
I noticed at the birds have different colors.
The birds are different colors in this data, yes. Sam?
It shows you how wide they can stretch their wings.
Ooh, maybe it shows us how wide they can stretch their wings. Kelly?
I noticed that the wandering albatross is the biggest bird.
Yeah, on this data chart, we noticed that the wandering albatross seems to have the longest wingspan.
And also the raven is the smallest.
On this graph, you're right. Samantha?
I see the eagle. I see an eagle. It's the eagle in America.
Oh, you're thinking about like the eagle is the symbol of the United States or of America? And on here we have the bald eagle. Yes, absolutely. 2 friends that need to fix their bodies, please. Thank you. Kelly? Thanks. Martin?
What birds are in Nantucket?
Ooh, that's a really great wondering, right? So we have a lot of different types of birds here. Martin, I'm going to ask you to think a little bit more. Do you think this chart shows the birds that are here on Nantucket?
No.
No. So maybe this is just a sampling of some birds in our data, but I agree that I don't think this is a graph specific to Nantucket, because this graph would be missing kinds of birds that we see at recess. What kind of birds do you think we see at recess? Silas, give me one.
Robin.
I definitely see robins at recess, yes, and they're not on this chart. Yeah, thanks, Leanne. What else? Usually they're out on the lawn, they honk a lot. Eden, what do you think? Geese, a Canadian goose, right? They're not on this list. We don't know how long their wingspan is. And then there is what we all love to call the goat of the sky. They'll eat anything. They are white. Please fix your body. A seagull, right? We have lots of seagulls because we live on an island. So seagulls will eat just about anything, but they're not represented in the data that we're looking at. So the data that we're looking at today just has a raven, a bald eagle, a trumpeter swan, a California condor, and a wandering albatross. I have a question that I hope you can answer. And it's about the numbers along the side. So there's numbers along the side that go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you think those numbers represent or mean? Miles? Yeah, how many feet or how long the wingspan of a particular bird is. How come the numbers don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Sam, what are you thinking?
Because they can only stretch that to 6.
Yeah, so maybe it goes from 0 to 6 because that's the longest wingspan there is.
But we don't, maybe.
Maybe, in this set of data. That's a really good way to think about it. Wondering for you, and I'm looking at Hazel and Darrell. Thanks. Which bird do you think, nice quiet hand, could fly the longest without landing? Not of all the birds in the world, just of these 6. Which bird do you think could fly the longest without landing? Jarrell, what do you think?
The bald eagle.
You think the bald eagle, and why do you think that? Yeah, so you know something about bald eagles and how they fly in the sky? Yeah, absolutely. Eden, what are you thinking?
I think the wandering albatross.
That was really nice reading. And why do you think the wandering albatross?
Because it has bigger wings than the other birds.
So maybe we can take some of our knowledge about like the wingspan and how that helps them soar a little bit, right? So I think
And it could be a little
soaring
bit
means they don't have to flap. They can just kind of soar in the sky,
like
right?
this.
Without landing. Yeah. Do you think if we were thinking about a Canadian goose, like we have here on the playground, do you think their wingspan would go closer to the raven or closer to the wandering albatross or somewhere else?
Closer to the one.
I don't see a nice quiet hand, so I can't call in to Martin to share your thinking. Owen, what do you think? Oh, and tell me more. Tell me more about why you think it's the raven. Why is the Canadian goose closer to a raven?
I don't know.
You don't know, you're just doing some thinking. I see Canadian geese fly in the sky, right? They're soaring in their V-shaped migration patterns, but I don't see them quite as 6 feet going across. That's that wandering albatross, right? My last question for you is this. You ready, Sam? Ready?
Yes.
Did anything about this graph or the data surprise you? And if so, what was surprising about the data? Sam?
How big the wingspan was.
Yeah, how big the wingspan could be on some birds. And then I would say, to kind of equal you, Sam, I was always thinking that eagles were so big. But in this data, they're the second to the smallest based on the 6 that we're looking at.
That's amazing.
Silas, something to add?
I didn't know what ravens were so small.
You didn't know that ravens' wingspans were so small, again, compared to these others in the data set. And yes, Eden, there is only 5. I do have a little bit more information to share with you. So I'm going to bring us through, still on the data set, but I'm going to share some photographs with you. Birds live in many types of places all over the planet. Their unique body sizes and wing shapes help birds adapt to their ways of life. Should only be one voice on, right? And I'm having some difficulty hearing. Thanks. So they can survive in different places. Eagles have long feathers on the ends of their wings, and they can spread out, allowing them to rise high into the sky. Not right now. At the end of this data talk would be a great time to ask. Thanks. Air pockets rise from close to the ground and push the eagle upwards, making it possible for them to stay in the sky longer to hunt. Albatrosses use their long, narrow wings and their wind to soar across the ocean, saving energy by not flapping as often. So Eden, kind of what you were thinking earlier. However, unlike the albatross, the falcon must flap its wings in order to stay in the air. Doves, like the one photographed here, and woodpeckers, have wings that are shaped like half an oval. The wing shape allows the birds to thrive in the forest where they can turn quickly before performing acrobatics and move fast for short amounts of time. This is actually a dove, but it looks very similar to a pigeon, right? Pigeons usually have a little bit more gray, right? This is a little bit more white on them.
That looks like a pigeon.
Yeah, they look very similar. Pigeons and doves both have very small heads, right?
Ostrich.
Not all birds can fly.
Ostrich.
Not all birds can fly. Flightless birds use their wings for other purposes. Penguins use their wings for swimming. The ostrich is the largest living land bird, and it uses its wings to help balance itself while running. A bird that lives in New Zealand called the taki uses its wings to show its aggression. My last picture I wanted to share with you is of not a bird. Wing shapes and the ways birds use their wings to fly have inspired humans for hundreds of years. Today, scientists continue to study how birds fly to help us understand our natural world, as well as to design and improve flying objects such as airplanes, drones, and helicopters. I will take some nice quiet hands at the end of our data talk. Some final thoughts here. Liam.
It looks like a drum.
This is a drone. Yep, it's a photograph of a drone. Silas.
Birds can fly because their bones are hollow.
Yes, they have very special bones that help them fly and feathers that help them keep their flight up because of the warm air.